Hello everyone. I thought I would make a quick video talking a little bit more about the marketing materials that you'll create for your Cleveland International Film Festival posters for Project 3. So I have a few more student examples I want to walk through. So this one, this student, her theme was kaleidoscope. So you can see here, this was her poster, and this is how it converted into like a bus shelter sign. At this time, this project was done a few years ago where mock-ups weren't easily accessible. So really what I had the students do is just do a quick Google search. So if you do a Google search and you just say bus shelter signs, and go to images, you can more than likely find decent images of bus shelter signs. In some of these cases, they're going to be large. In some cases, they might not be big enough. You're just going to be printing these out on 8.5 by 11, so it's not hugely important that they're huge. But I always go to tool size large, and that way you can kind of ensure that they're going to be pretty high quality. And then what you would do is you would just take, something like this. You would download it. This is 1300 by 9 something 56. So, if you right click on it, download it, open it in Photoshop, you can easily Photoshop your poster into this. So that's just one of the things you can do. You can also do that with billboards. I'm pretty sure there are mock-ups of billboards, but if you just wanted to use something that you find online, you can easily take your art, bring it into Photoshop as like a JPEG if you design it in InDesign or Illustrator, and use the tools that you've learned in Photoshop to put them into the billboard. But again, I'm pretty sure Adobe Stock or Free Pick or some of those other mock-up sites definitely would have billboards. Same thing with the street pole signs. So street pole signs, there might not necessarily be mock-ups of the street pole signs, but you can see, whoops, you probably don't want that one. So if you go to images, you can go down and they're not this, but something like this. It doesn't have to be in context. It doesn't have to be huge, but you could easily put your artwork on top of the artwork that already exists in a lot of these. So that's how I would look for those. So let's go back to the student work first. So this is her poster, bus shelter sign. She also found an image where it looks like somebody's installing these, which is pretty cool. And due to the nature of her poster series, she's had a few different designs for these kaleidoscopes. So she used a different kaleidoscope for the street pole signs. And then you can see she used a different image for the billboards, but she had to take her design and create it horizontally rather than vertically. So that's one of the things that you'll have to end up doing. She also made buttons, so you can see her buttons. If I zoom in, it does have the URL. It has the Cleveland International Film Festival. In your case, it would be the 50th. So you can do buttons. If you do buttons, you want to make sure to do like usually 4. In this case, she had 3 kaleidoscope type images, so I allowed her to just do 3. But usually you would do a set of 4. And then her T-shirt, she just has the name, the number of the film festival, and then I mentioned this in the introduction video. She did a little actual made a kaleidoscope. I probably would have had her put the logo on here. I think it's important to have the CIFF logo on your materials, so that's something to think about too. So this one, this student did, his poster actually was designed like this. So again, the poster easily fits onto the bus shelter sign. He then had to redesign it and lay it out a little bit to fit on a billboard. Horizontally, but you can see it's still holding true to the typefaces, the colors, the imagery. And then he did a program cover. He did a tote bag. I thought this was a really interesting solution with the logo on here. And the t-shirt with the ringer tee I thought also was fun. I probably and that's right. He's got the logo on the tag here. It might have been nice to have the number of the film festival it was, but again, with the merch, you're already there, so you've already done your job of getting people there. The merch is just, extra purchases that people will make. And I really thought his hat was interesting. He has the logo and then put the theme underneath, and then the stripes. You can kind of see the stripes in the poster, these little kind of flary things, and he actually did that on the rim of the hat, which I thought was creative. This one was really interesting. Her poster, she did kind of like a Rorschach. So her theme was Your Take, and she actually did a series of three posters. So she did this one where you can see the Oscar, the film, but it definitely looks like one of those Rorschach tests. She did this one, and she's really trying to kind of represent different genres, different. She's got 3D glasses here, and then I think the third one there. I thought there was three. Yeah, and then this black and red with, I think you can see, oh, film cameras. You can see the film cameras there, kind of that theater look. So I thought that was really interesting. And then she took those three different posters. She did a vertical billboard. You can see the film reel, the film camera, and then she did a bus shelter sign. She did a street pole with a white poster, and then a tote bag t-shirt. I really like the way she has the theme on the t-shirt sleeve. She did both a long sleeve and a short sleeve. She's got the little ink spots too, and then a series of buttons. And the series of buttons, one can have the theme, one can have the CIFF, so it's kind of interesting that she kind of showed all three within her design. So hopefully this helps with some of these elements. T-shirts, hoodies, if your theme has something that's different and unique, you can definitely think about a different merch that you might add with that. So I'm going to close this and just start talking about mock-ups a little bit. And one of your choices for the outdoor marketing could be social media. And if you do social media, you have to do Facebook, Instagram, and X. And there are a lot of different options for social media templates. So this Adobe link has social media templates, and I really just did a Google search of, free social media templates. Some of you might have, and I think that's Blackboard. Some of you might have Figma accounts. So I noticed that Figma has also a bunch of free social media templates that you can download and use. And then I found some posts that you can go to Cleveland International Film Festival on Facebook and just kind of look to see how they do their posts. One of the things that you'll want to do is, and here's one for Instagram. So you'll want to use the templates. So that it looks like. Let me go back to Facebook. Instagram. So you want to make sure that it looks like a Instagram post or an X post or a Facebook post. And in some cases, you might not need to show the whole poster. Maybe you show elements of the poster, but then you'll want to make sure to use the Cleveland International Film Festival logo. Make sure it looks like it's from them. And then your comment or the little description will probably be something along the lines of, come see us at the 50th anniversary, the dates, the place, all that kind of stuff. So, dig through their Instagram. Here's another one. You can see this has a little bit of motion to it, but you'll want to make sure to have it be from the film festival and then add some text. And that's some of the research that you can do. I thought this was an interesting one with a bunch of buttons that they've done in the past. So all three of your social media posts could be a little bit different depending on your theme, depending on your imagery and stuff. So you can kind of have fun with the social media posts if that's what you decide to move forward with. But there are a lot of resources that you can use to create your elements. I know that in the mock-ups, there's lots of mock-ups for hoodies and mugs. I mean, think about if you went to a film festival, what kind of merch, would you be interested in purchasing, or would you be interested in creating? So hopefully this helps you navigate the third project in this course, and I really look forward to seeing what you come up with.